When I went to do it with Adam, it was like, oh no, I don't know if it was too full or what was happening. So,
Oh, yeah, I guess everybody's working like this these days. So,
yeah. Oh, here we go.
yay. It's like we're on the news.
It is. Preparing. Yeah, so I'll just, preparing. I'll just ask some general questions. It's just about being fun, more to just know who you are, what you do, all that kind of stuff. So,
You bet.
preparing. Let's see what it says. Let's try. Pause the recording. Now we're recording again.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Velvet with Little Red Door. I have an interior design business here in the Calgary area. Today, my guest is Kerry Oxford from, well, you got two companies. So which one should I boast about? Well, both of them.
Let's talk about Nurture My Home. Everybody knows what a home inspector does, and that's what my other company is.
Yeah, so we've got Oxford Inspections, and we've got her new company, which is Nurture My Home, which is super cool. It's going to be our major focus today, but if anybody has any questions about the things we're talking about, please put them in the comments below, and hopefully I can see them. I'm not very good at technology, so you're going to have to give me a break, and if we don't answer what we're talking to you, we'll come back and answer them as well. So, Kerry, how are things? Thanks for being my guest today.
Oh, hey, thank you for having me here. And things are going well.
Oh, good. You guys are still working. You're still in business while all this is going on. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah. So in regards to inspection, home inspectors are considered an essential business. And in fact, I did just get a phone call right before this, our meeting today, somebody saying lots of home inspectors are telling them that they're not working. We did get a legal opinion. Well, we didn't. We found a legal opinion that was provided through the Ontario Association of Home Inspectors that said that as long as realtors are working, home inspectors are necessary. So we're adopting that, but we are adjusting how we work. So that's absolutely happening. On the Nurture My Home side of things, we're primarily a virtual business anyway.
Awesome.
And so this is a great opportunity for us to share what we've just created and what we're just putting out that's going to help homeowners and something you can use right now while you're stuck at home.
Okay, well, let's leave that tantalizing little bit for a minute. So that everyone stays here and finds out what exactly Nurture My Home
What
is
could
all
we be
about.
talking about?
What are you talking about? So first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me who you are. Are you a Calgarian? Where are you from? What are some of your kind of, I know you've got some cool things that you're doing with your outdoor life, I'll call it that.
The personal side of things.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and let us get to know who you are and what brought you kind of to Calgary, or if you're from here, all that.
You bet. Well, I've lived in Calgary for a long time, 40 years now, but I wasn't born here. I was actually born in the UK. And so I'm a dual citizen. But I've lived almost all of my life here in Calgary. And this is where I grew a fondness for doing renovations and DIY stuff because my parents are that kind of people. I didn't know what a house looked like with baseboard on it. I thought that's just, and anybody who's ever done any renovation work, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Baseboard's the last thing that goes on and often the thing that takes forever, even though everything else is done. So that's where I learned this fondness for home improvement and renovation was from my family. Now, I didn't take a trade in that. I didn't become a designer or an architect. I actually ended up becoming a welder. So, not really
Very
related.
closely related, yeah.
But, making things real, understanding how to use the tools, reading blueprints, creating blueprints, those were all things that are a part of my background. I took that and I went into engineering technology. So I'm a certified mechanical engineering technologist. And I have done some training in structural analysis, although that just sits in the background because I am not a structural engineer. I'm not even a structural engineering technologist. But it's good to know how things generally work. And that's, it's a fascination I have. And it's something that I see that other people need help with too.
Mm-hmm. So that is like myself as well. I mean, I know enough to be dangerous. I mean, I understand how things go together, but I'm certainly like the structural components, lots of, you know, having inspectors that can look at things and we can kind of break them down as to how it went together and kind of making an opinion about certain things that go on. For the interior design business, how we relate and why I wanted to have Kerry here. I actually had Kerry out to my own home. I had water damage showing up in a stairwell, and I was like, there's nothing there. Where is it coming from? So I had we got her up in my attic, and she took pictures and things, and we looked at all of those components and was able to get it fixed, kind of determine where we think the water's coming from. Now, water's a tricky thing. Don't, you know, just because somebody tells you that that's exactly where it is may not be, because it follows everything. It follows electrical lines, it follows joists, it follows all of that stuff. So I have personal experience working with Kerry and just some of that background of stuff. But as she said, the point she was making about having backgrounds and having enough knowledge in this industry to try and deconstruct things in order to fix them or make them more beautiful, or all of that is really, I mean, that's just a skill and that's just experience that I just think is so valuable to both of our industries, of how we can help our homeowners kind of determine things and figure stuff out. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, having an understanding of, you know, I'm fascinated with architecture and design as well. Like not something I chose as a career, but I have a book that's, I don't know if it's on my bookshelf right now. Yeah, it probably is. For years, I went to go to the store and read this book in the store. And finally, my husband said, "Sweetie, I'm buying you the book."
Oh my
God. Enough of this. It's an architect named Alexander out of California in the 50s. And he wrote this book called A Pattern Language. And this is where, you know, to me, designers are so valuable, because understanding that there are some cardinal rules about a space and how one lives in the space that makes something, they call it the quality without a name. Why you feel so comfortable in a space is because somebody who knew what they were doing designed it. Someone who understood those cardinal rules made that happen. You know, and it's the same thing with figuring out problems, right? If you understand the space in which you're thinking, then you can surmise what potential issues might be there or what causes might be there.
Excellent. So I'll just introduce us again for anybody that's joined us late. One moment, please. My name is Velvet. I have an interior design company in the Calgary area, and my guest today is Kerry Oxford with Oxford Inspections and a new company she started up called Nurture My Home. So stay tuned, stay with us. We've got lots to tell you. Okay. Okay, so tell me about the business. So you've just started, so you've been doing inspections a long time. You and your husband are both doing that, correct?
Yep, we're certified inspectors, both of us. Yep.
Awesome. And so inspectors working with real estate agents, if there's any issues in your house and you don't know what they are or what's causing them, is that something they would call you for on the inspection end of things?
That's right. Yeah. So as I wear my hat as an inspector, we do pre-purchase inspections on homes, pre-listing inspections. So if you're thinking about selling and you need to have a sense of what your home looks like, what condition it's in, we can do that. But we also do like what you described in your home. We call it a spot inspection, and that's where we say, yes, we'll see if we can help you figure out that problem. There's no guarantees we can find the solution, but we can gather a lot of evidence, and even if we don't have a recommendation or an answer for it, we can typically find somebody who can interpret that in the way that we didn't see.
Yeah.
So gathering the evidence and then really looking at it.
Yeah, it worked really well for me. So with my issue, I had a skylight that had been replaced through insurance a few years ago. I'll just give you a little bit of the story. When they installed the skylight, they didn't actually seal any of the screws on the roof, and the flashing wasn't done properly when they installed my skylight. So that's what's leaking again. Had the same issue about 6 years ago. This repair was done, obviously not well. So I've had to go back to insurance because it leaks down my exterior wall and shows up on my main floor at an electrical outlet. So there's a whole bunch of bubbling and stuff. So we had to figure out where the water was coming from. So with Kerry's report, one of the awesome things that she does, so I got that within 24 hours of her being here. And I was able to send that whole report that she wrote, what she saw. She had a thermal cam, you had a moisture tester.
Yep.
She took pictures up in the attic of all kind of the spots where there might have been issues. So it was really great that I could just take that whole report, and I just sent that off to the insurance company and said, here's what your inspectors that you had come out didn't see or didn't look at, because they never even went in my attic to look at stuff. So whatever, insurance is a whole different thing. I'm going to have Dan from an insurance company come on. Kerry, so we're gonna duke it out about insurance company. I'm just kidding, Dan. Come, don't be scared. So good thing about that report was that we had access to all of those pictures that maybe somebody wouldn't even know what to look for. You made some great notes and about where stuff you thought what might be happening in different areas. And we talked a lot about things that could have been done better in my attic as well. So I have an 80s home, an 80s infill, for the new terminology. And so there's things in my attic that could be fixed up, and insulation has shifted. There's some other things up there that we can do, but things I wouldn't have done without having Kerry go up there. Now I have a super 12-12 pitch roof, so I didn't want to get up there, so Kerry did get up into the attic. She knows what she's looking for anyway, so it's all better. Okay, enough about that. Let's talk about Nurture My Home. So first of all, tell us what it is, and then tell us why you thought this was important to start, why you wanted to do it.
Yeah, you bet. So Nurture My Home, as you mentioned, is an innovative new company that was founded here in Calgary. We launched it at the Home and Garden Show at the end of February. And what we've done is develop a simple way to help homeowners get into the driver's seat where home management, home maintenance, and home improvement are concerned. Our tagline is, it's your home, own it. So here's the problem that we've identified. If you're like most Canadians, your home is your largest investment. Taking an active role in managing that investment will pay dividends, but knowing what impacts that investment is critical. So what do you think has the biggest impact on the value of your home, Bill?
Oh, the biggest impact? I actually don't know that answer.
All right. Well, if you Google protect your largest investment, you're probably going to find results that fall into three categories: mortgage rates, insurance, and security systems.
Oh, okay.
And here's the thing about those three things. Mortgage rates, you have little to no control over. I mean, when it's time to renew your mortgage, you could do some negotiation. You have some options. You could choose when to lock in and not. But none of that really has any impact on the value of your house in the long run, just on how much you spent to get that value. In terms of insurance, it's important to have insurance, and I'm sure Dan will talk about that with you guys later. But from my perspective, insurance is important, but the fact is that most problems that occur in your home are not covered by insurance. You've had a battle yourself with insurance companies, and you can see that they're very specific about what they cover. And right now, it's particularly important, and Dan will talk more about that. But basically, insurance is not the biggest impact either. The third thing is security systems. Sure, theft can happen, and it can be horrendous. Any kind of monitoring in your home is a good idea. Not that I necessarily would have a security system in my house, but monitoring for water damage, I certainly would do. Again, in security systems have a place, but it's very rare when people actually break into your home, believe it or not. So none of those things are it. The thing that has the biggest impact on the value of your home is you.
Sure.
Whether or not you are able to manage that complex collection of interconnected systems that is your house. And you're familiar with some of those systems would be, maybe even all of them. So the building envelope, the exterior piece of your house that keeps the weather out, that's your roof, the exterior walls, all that kind of stuff. The electrical systems, the mechanical systems, the plumbing system, the structure, all of these things work together. And when one part of that system fails, others begin to fail too. And the big key point here is that it's in a constant state of change. It is not static. So you can't just buy a home and think it'll just be that way. It doesn't stay that way. So that's what Nurture My Home is about. We take that core net problem and we help you to solve it in a way that doesn't cut into your time and energy, because let's face it, we're all so busy and we're all focused on other things. We don't have time to become experts.
Yeah.
So we
Well,
make that easy.
I think that that's great. So we'll talk a bit more about, I know the process, but what you're doing. But for people that are out there, so, you know, I bought my first condo when I was, oh, I don't know, 22 or 23 years old. And I didn't know anything about it. Thank goodness my dad was around for some of the, you know, maintenance things, like who do I even call or who do I talk to?
Yeah.
And even now, you know, still, I wish my dad was still around, because that's the person you call, right? So I've got, you know, now it's my brothers that have to step up and, you know, well, how do I fix this? Who do I call? What do I do about this thing that's happening? And, you know, I think a lot of people are in the same boat. Everybody just makes an assumption that you buy a house and, you know, you either, it's supposed to take care of itself, or you're supposed to know how to do it. And I think there's very few people, even for myself in the renovation world, we call that deferred maintenance, where people aren't taking care and aren't doing the steps to maintain some of these systems like you're talking about, whether it be plumbing or HVAC or any of that stuff. So when it comes to renovating, it's usually at a point where something's broken or something's not working anymore, that perhaps some of that maintenance might have saved some of the cost at the renovation stage of it, or the fixing stage of it as well. Because as we all know, renovations have a little bit of a snowball effect. And, you know, we have a little bit of a, maybe, I don't want to call it impulse control problem, but, you know, there's pretty shiny things out there. And the unpretty shiny things are all of the systems that you noted. They're the exterior, they're your roof, they're all, you know, bigger ticket items too, to fix and maintain if some of those go wrong. So tell us more about how what you're doing to solve that issue for people.
You bet. So for Nurture My Home subscribers, right now we are not able to provide our full service, in the sense that we would come to your home and get to learn your home and set you up with a full custom plan. But in the place of that, what we're doing is we're offering everybody in the Calgary area the opportunity to use our smartphone app and our tech support ability for absolutely nothing. So what I'm talking about right now, we will be charging for in the future, but right now we're not, because we think everybody needs something to have control over right now.
Right.
You can't control what's going on, in the world. You can't control what's going on in your workplace. Maybe you can't control your kids, who knows? But you can control maintenance in your home. And there are lots and lots of things that a homeowner can do themselves. I'm not encouraging you to fix your furnace.
Right.
Please have a professional do that, and they are still working, so that's no problem. But there are lots of things you could do so that you don't get to that point where something costs you a lot more money, or costs you money when it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And it's those simple things. So what we've done is we've created an app that it's available on iPhone and iPad right now, not on Android yet, but we're working on that. And it has a custom maintenance list. Think of it like the honey-do list, if you've ever heard that term. It's basically a list of things that have to be done around the house. Honey, could you do this, please? And whether you're like, I'm the honey, I'm the one that does the work in our house. So the honey-do list is my list. But basically it's a list of things, and the list is perpetually renewing on a schedule.
All right.
So you don't have to think about this. You open the app and it says, do this thing. And you think to yourself, well, I don't know how to do that thing. How do I check my smoke detectors? I don't know how to do that. No problem. You just click on it and there's a video or text telling you or showing you how to do it.
Awesome.
So this is made for a homeowner who maybe has questions or is not sure. And if you still have questions, the people who made those videos are part of our expert local network. And this is a key thing to this. Yes, you can go on YouTube. Of course you can. But how do you know if the information you're getting is accurate?
Yep.
The person on YouTube could be really good at what they do, but they could be in Florida.
Sure.
And we don't build houses the same way here.
Yeah, and where the codes are different, and there's a whole thing about YouTubing how to do stuff that meets our standards and stuff. We have very high standards in Canada, and in Alberta and the city of Calgary as well. So if you are doing any home maintenance, please make sure you're doing it to our codes and stuff too, because we never want anything to happen to you or your home. So Okay, go
Yeah,
on.
and as a property inspector, I see this problem every single day. As you mentioned, deferred maintenance and poorly completed home renovations, DIY renovations,
Yeah,
uh, forgetting the big stuff, or trying to jury rig something because you didn't know. So instead of trying to become a YouTube expert, just download our app. And then you don't have to worry, because the person in the video, the instructions you're getting are coming from a local, certified, qualified person, and you can call that person and ask them questions, which is huge.
yeah, that's,
No one else is doing that.
yeah. I know, I personally know a number of the people that Kerry has on her technical team to supporting your app and what you're going on, and they're amazing local people as well. So if you're wanting to support some local businesses, not only Kerry, but everybody behind the scenes of that app are from the Calgary area as well. So all small business-ish owners.
Yeah,
We're
they're
not
all
big,
small.
we're not all big business owners. You usually talk to the owner when you call that number. So,
Yes, you usually do. You usually do.
so okay, go on. Okay, so your app is available now, so people can download. What do they need to download?
So again, if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you can download this app directly through the App Store. Just look for Nurture My Home. The logo is a little green square with Nurture My Home in writing on it. And once you download that app, there'll be 3 very simple questions to answer so that we get a sense of your home. And then you're off to the races, you're running. And as I said, you do have access through that app to call and ask questions. You can call us through that app. You can also call any of our network members. Now, if you don't have an iPhone or an iPad, that would be me. I don't have an iPhone or an iPad. You can still reach out to us. So don't feel like you're stuck out in the cold here. While you can't use the app, we can absolutely answer any questions you have about your home, and we can get into a video chat or a Zoom like this with you, and see if we can help you solve that problem. We're absolutely available to help. So to do that, you can text or phone 403-540-9711, or you can email hello@nurturemyhome.com.
Awesome.
So either way, if you have an iPad or iPhone, great, you've got the app. If you don't, no problem. We're happy to help you.
Okay, I'm just trying to check and see if we have any comments. I don't know if anybody's watching us. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. It's okay. We don't mind. Let's see. I'm not, as I said, very technical savvy. I can see that we're on there, and I see we do have viewers. Woo! Thanks for
Hello.
joining us, everyone. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, everyone makes it look so easy when I watch these live. I don't know. Maybe I need a instructor.
They have technical teams behind them, or they do it all the time, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. We'll answer your questions later. Sorry, that would be a bit more
Yeah.
engaging. It's fine.
Call me. It's no problem.
Call me. Yeah, let's just actually talk. Let's have some human contact to all of this stuff as well. All right. So so Nurture My Home. So you're just, are you still calling it your beta version? Or are you calling it the app's like live and we're good to go and we'll expand it as we get more people subscribing and that kind of stuff?
You bet. So what we have right now, we call an MVP. It's a minimum viable product. It has a lot more potential than what we're able to show you right now, and it's going to take several years for us to fully develop that. So we are a tech startup, and we're working forward in the process of being a tech startup. So what you have right now is very, very useful. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot more that we're going to be able to do with it. The final product probably won't even be directly on this platform the way that it is right now.
Okay. And so when we were talking before, you had said that this will be something that you can, you would actually go in and make into somebody's home and make a whole plan at some point. I don't know if that's something you're doing now, but where you'll make a whole plan specific to that person's home, the age of their home, what will need to be done and kind of set up those milestones of, okay, you should get your roof inspected. It's been, I don't know, let's say 15 years that you've owned the home. You should, I'm just making stuff up. Please don't.
Yep. But it's good stuff.
Yeah, so we'll make a plan for you about the maintenance so that, those are, might be $10,000 to do the roof on your house, so that you have a plan, and your insurance company loves that as well. And saying that these are the milestones, start putting the money in the the little mattress,
Yeah.
so that you can afford to do that when the time comes. So you'll be setting up plans like that for people. Is that correct?
That's right. The idea is that that you have a fully custom plan for your home, and that it works inside that app as well. So you just open up the app when it's time to do some work around the house or pay attention to some stuff, and that we're pushing some notifications to your phone. We're not doing email. We're tired of email. Are you tired of email? I'm tired of email. We don't want to do that. So that you're empowered. You don't have to go looking for the answers. Everything is right there, and your personal custom schedule and everything is right there. You know, the age of everything in your home, like you said. If your roof gets to be a certain age, then you need to plan for what you're going to do. The other piece of that, of course, we're talking about the planning, scheduling, but it's also budgeting, and you brought that up. So thank you for bringing that up. A big message I want to get out to everybody that if you take nothing else away from this, take this away. You should budget to spend an average of 3 to 5% of the value of your home per year on maintenance. It sounds like a lot, but if you sit down and write out the cost of a new roof, new windows, water heater, furnace over the life of your home, you do spend 3 to 5%. And look, get the financial guys in here to talk to. I mean, Jordan could probably say something to this. Take that money and pay it like a condo fee into a TFSA.
Totally.
Okay?
I wish somebody had told me that years ago, that, everyone gets all bent up about, I own a condo downtown, and, I kind of hate having to pay that condo fee every month. But I'm like, man, if I had done that for my home, when I bought my home, how much further ahead, these things wouldn't be, I don't want to call them issues, but they wouldn't feel so overwhelming when it's like,
Right.
okay, well, next year we need to get our roof done. And it's like, okay, well, so planning, how much is that going to cost? So get it quoted so that you can start making those plans. So yeah, I wish somebody had told me that years ago. I mean, that's kind of my mindset now, but nobody told me that. No one was like,
no,
you gotta, it sounds all nice and good that you, I don't know, maybe have extra money. I don't know. But if you don't budget for something, you certainly don't have extra money to be doing these types of maintenance and repair.
No, you don't. And that's the horrible feeling that we want to get rid of. We would like everyone in Calgary who owns property to never feel that feeling again.
Yeah.
Oh no, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay for this? The roof is done. The water heater just blasted water all over my basement floor, and now it's flooded, and it's going to be a remediation, and oh man, what am I going to do? This does not have to happen.
Great.
We can help you with that.
Awesome. So tell me, this is my own personal need to know. So water tanks, listen, you're supposed to drain them how often?
Water tanks?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should drain them once a year.
See, I would like to know how many of you are draining your hot water tank once a year. I'm not going to tell you.
I can tell you.
I'm going to tell you right now, I have never done it. I had the hot water tank replaced when I moved into my home. That's 12 years.
Yeah, we talked to thousands of people at the Home and Garden Show, and I can tell you there might have been one or two, and they were maintenance professionals.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, we don't know to change the furnace filter. Some people are pretty good about it, but a lot of people don't know.
So I have an HVAC friend, and well, I have a designer friend. Her husband is an HVAC, and he says that's the number one thing that he gets called, because there's no hot air coming through. There's no, the furnace isn't blowing. They have it cranked up to, 27 degrees on the button, but the house is still shivery cold, and he'll go downstairs and, pull those furnace filters out. And I don't know if I should, well, he said it looked like there was a dead cat in the furnace because they hadn't changed the furnace filter in, if ever. It was so clogged up. So, those maintenance things, I am an avid furnace filter changer. I have a dog, so I'm very adamant about that. And just, it's the air you breathe, and it's everything. You're finding your house super dusty and all of that, might be time to change your furnace filter.
Well, that's a good point you bring up. So what the furnace filter is for on your furnace, great, it makes you feel better, but the furnace filter is actually for the furnace. It's to protect the blower motor.
Ah, good. Okay.
Which is so that's what, when the furnace filter is clogged up like that, of course, the blower motor is sucking air like it can't, it can't breathe, and that shortens the life of that motor. Right. So, you want to save yourself some money right now. get the cheapest furnace filters that are available that fit your furnace. You don't have to get anything fancy.
Yep.
If you're concerned about air quality in your home, I recommend a separate device. And that's coming from the EPA.
Yes.
So I go right to the source. I took a seminar with an EPA professional at an event in Colorado a couple of years ago, and we were testing pressure drops across furnaces. So we get to do some fun technical stuff like that. And this was one of the things that we talked about. He said, whatever the manufacturer of your furnace recommends is usually the best case, but if you don't know that information, you don't have to spend any money on fancy filters for that. It's just to keep that blower motor from failing.
So a HEPA filter versus just like anything about the furnace. I know you're not in.
Yeah, just a regular old run-of-the-mill. They look.
I just bought a pack of 2 from Canadian Tire, and it was $10.99.
Yeah, exactly.
Go do it. It'll save your furnace. Okay. What are the top things you'd say to people as far as maintenance? Is that a question? Is that a good enough?
Sure. Yeah. Well, as we've been saying, first thing, have a plan.
Okay, good.
Even if you're not, using what we're doing, write it out, what you need to do. Break it up into different sections. So in the springtime, go around the outside of your house and look at what's going on there. As a general, have a plan. Check things. Look in corners. If you've piled everything up in front of your main shutoff valve for your water, you're never going to know if there's a problem going on there.
Right.
Check things that don't normally get turned and twisted and moved. Do that. Check them. And set up a regular maintenance schedule. So those are things that are important. You budget for it. We talked about that. And if you're handy at all, have a decent little toolkit. It doesn't take much to do a little adjustment here, a little caulking there, tighten something up. Even replacing, some of the insides of plumbing fixtures is not that hard. Yeah. Just be aware that things don't last forever. Everything has a shelf life. So how long, Velvet, does a hot water tank last?
10 to 12 years.
8 to 12.
8 to 12.
Not bad. I'll give you that one.
Okay.
A toilet seal. So the wax ring.
Oh, I want to say 10 years too, but I don't know. I think that seems high. There's a lot of water.
About right though.
Is it 10? Okay.
Yeah, 10 years.
And if you see things, I guess that's the biggest thing, the awareness of it. Hey, make sure you're looking underneath your sinks, and make sure. I got caught in my own home. I walked down into my basement and I was like, why is the sofa all wet? So my kitchen sink upstairs, one of the little valves had just come loose, worked loose, and it had leaked all over the cabinet, and then leaked down and was dripping through the drywall seams in the ceiling. And it was like, but by the time I saw it, I mean it was much too late for me to see that. So just the awareness of, look under your sinks once in a while, see if something's dripping, look around the toilet if you see any moisture around those seals, change your furnace filter. I got to get on that hot water tank maintenance. So
yeah,
obviously
so there's another thing you're talking.
Is there something I can call do that? You just have to hook your garden hose up and drain it, don't you?
Yeah, or you could call a local plumber to just.
I'm totally cheeky.
I'm not, again, encouraging you to try things that you're not comfortable with.
I swear I Googled that. No, I'm kidding.
It's not, if you feel confident with this stuff, tear away. But the idea is awareness of the fact that that's to be done. It's funny you bring that up about the sink. I had an inspection client that didn't notice a small leak under their sink until they had a frozen waterfall coming out below the siding on the outside of their house.
Oh crap. Yeah, that's big time.
That was big time. Like there was ice along the top of their foundation wall between the upstairs and the basement. Yeah. And it was all the way along one wall. Like it was enormous problem. All because of a little leak. So if we're aware of that, then we can address it before it becomes a problem.
Yeah, we're busy. I will say sometimes we're lazy. We just think everything's going to work, and it's working now. It'll work in 2 years from now, and we don't pay attention. So
Netflix is calling. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Totally. Okay. Anything else you wanna? We're at 10:42, so I've got some I've got the hot seat questions. So
Yay.
they're good. But anything, we talked about where you see that company going. You wanna expand it more, so there's more individualized packages for people if they want to find you. Again, share how people can find you.
You bet. So again, our website is www.nurturemyhome.com. You get lots of information on there for how to reach us. Otherwise, the phone number is 403-540-9711, or you can email us at hello@nurturemyhome.com.
Awesome. Okay. My hot seat questions. They're just meant to be fun and silly. Some of them are silly. Some of them are real, though. Like,
ooh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
No. Okay. One thing you wish you'd done before quarantine.
One thing I wish I'd done, gotten the outhouse. You're talking about me in the woods. Gotten the outhouse out to BC.
Okay.
We built an outhouse and flat packed it, and we can't take it out there right now.
Oh man. Okay. Your new favorite quarantine activity. Doesn't have to be new, but
my new favorite quarantine activity. I'll tell you what. Mother-daughter project making fabric masks.
Oh, that's fun. I actually saw that on did you have it on Facebook or something?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
That feels good, right? Doing something like that.
You feel like you're doing something, but we're also helping people, and anytime I get to spend with my mom doing fun stuff,
I have one aside. Okay. Interjection. So there's a group in Calgary, and it's majority of women, and so they were making face masks and doing all this, but they were using naughty fabric. So,
oh, that's so awesome! I want to make one with the big mouth on it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But we really just used what we had because we're trying not to go to the store, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you get 1980s bedspreads.
Fantastic. I think that should be a thing, like ugly face mask, like
ugly face mask,
ugly sweater. I think we should. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Okay, person. Well, I don't know what that question is. Forget it. Person you wish. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Okay, one thing you've done in quarantine that you've not done before. Oh, I guess face mask.
One thing I've done in quarantine that I haven't done before.
Making the face masks, I guess, is
the face mask. Well, yeah, I mean, we haven't made face masks before, but there's probably some other stuff as well. Oh, I tried to make sourdough starter because I'm just that dumb. But I don't have, I have the attention span if it's about the house. And I do like cooking and baking. But right now I don't have the attention span to babysit that yeast. So
that's awesome. Okay. That's funny. I was just looking up sourdough recipes. That's funny you say that. Okay. Do you make your bed every morning?
Never. I make a point of not making my bed. I nest.
Bury yourself in, hey? Okay. Who's the cook in your house?
Well, see, now there's 4 of us here. We live with my parents.
Yes.
And mom owns the kitchen. So mom does the cooking, and I'm spoiled. I'm going to tell you this right now. I feel so guilty every day because mom was 70 years old and she just, nope, my job. But we did we fought with her. We're still fighting with her. We're taking over the grocery shopping because she's not allowed to go to the grocery store. But we're losing that battle on occasion.
That's fun though. I wish my mom was here.
Yeah, I know. We have invited some of our friends and colleagues over for supper because sometimes a homemade meal is just,
Yeah, I know.
I'll make shepherd's pie and you just can't help it. You want to eat it.
The longer it goes, the harder it is to not, I know. Yeah. Okay, one room in your house that you'd like to renovate.
Well, we've renovated every room in the house. We haven't finished the laundry room. We started it. We still have to put the flooring in. But a couple of years ago, we put in a tile countertop with tile edge from Schluter and an undermount sink and a nice space for the dog to get washed.
Fantastic.
So now we just need the flooring.
Yeah. See. Okay. Oh, this is totally selfish. So what's one thing you'd hire an interior designer for?
Oh, you know what? This is totally important. Okay. People don't know. You just don't understand how important spaces and how you live in them are.
Yeah.
And for me, like you go into a show home and look at a kitchen, and I tell you time and again that I get sick of looking at them because they do not use the rules in design. There's no proper triangle. They don't think practically. It's all about how it looks in a picture. A designer is critical for that kind of stuff.
Aw.
There's so many details that a designer is going to pull together for you. Like how much space goes to either side of a stove.
Mhm.
The fact that you should have countertop on both sides of your stove.
Yeah, exactly.
Which direction are you opening the fridge to? Where do you put your groceries when you come in?
Oh, I
Where's
love
your
it. Thank
wash up
you for that
space?
awesome answer. Yes. Yeah, agree.
So important. It's not just choosing colors, okay? It really isn't. There's more to it than that.
Yeah, my jam is totally about space planning and how people use the space and make sure that it
Mm,
accommodates them. I mean, making it beautiful at the end is, of course, a goal, but the functionality of space and your life, just everybody lives in a home differently. I would live in a home differently from how you would live in a home, and just
mm,
really walking through what that looks like for everybody. So thank you for that.
yeah.
Okay, so I know you've got dogs. Are the dogs allowed on the furniture and in your bed?
Yeah, they're allowed. The husband might not be, but they are. So we have a lot of blankets, and the blankets go on the couch, and they get washed regularly. But yeah, the dogs have one half of the sectional.
Yeah, that's my house too.
Yeah.
Wherever he should choose to roam. He's spoiled. He's spoiled.
Yeah,
100%. Um, okay, last one's a fun one. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be?
everywhere. I got a
Every-
bucket list.
yeah.
I got a bucket list. I want to be everywhere. I'm trying to think. Okay, so I have this book. I don't think I have it here. I have this book, and
Yes.
it's a Reader's Digest tabletop book of the wonders of the world.
Yes.
And
Oh,
my goal in my life, my bucket list, is to see every one of those places before I die. I love travel. I've been to quite a few places. I've been to New York City, and so watching what's happening right there now sucks. But I lived in Australia for a year. I've been to Taiwan, um, Mexico, Brazil, the Caribbean.
awesome.
I've traveled all across Canada. I've traveled all
Yeah,
across Canada. Who has
that's
done that?
good.
Yeah. So I've been in every province. I haven't been in the territories yet. So I guess that's the next thing I'd like to see. Maybe is the territories.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I know, right? It's all about now. I think we think more now about our economy and our lifestyle in Canada, and just really supporting things made here. That's always been one of my goals with design and purchasing things that way, is just really shop local. And if somebody can make a table here, why are we ordering it from wherever? Even if it's in Canada, if I can find somebody in the Calgary area and really support small businesses here, that's certainly my goal.
Mhm.
Custom furniture and that kind of stuff, we make all that stuff right here. So why are we not supporting our economy? So I like that you said the territories, and really I think there's going to be a lot more I don't want to call them state but Canada vacations now than there ever has been for people too. So
Yeah, and there's
okay.
so much to see in our country.
Oh, so beautiful. Hey,
Yeah.
I've been, we did, we did a couple road trips. Oh gosh, it was probably 2 years ago now, dragging our trailer behind us. My girlfriend got married out in Winnipeg, but we would usually normally fly. So because we have our dog, we thought, oh, we'll camp all our way through there. And, you just forget how beautiful our country is and just what we have to offer and how lovely the people are. And, yeah, I think we should all really do that. Any tips or anything you want to say to anybody that's a small business owner that's struggling right now or doesn't know? I don't know. Words of wisdom, Kerry. What do you got?
Okay. Well, this is my word of wisdom to you right now. Advocate for yourself.
Mm.
Advocate for yourself. I've got a call with the bank today, and I'm going to fight hard for them to pay attention to this. Um, we need to be able to float our way through this tough time. And maybe we aren't getting business. I mean, even though we're open, there's a big drop in people. But who wants to buy a house right now, right? There's a big drop in that. It's still happening because some people do not have a choice,
Yeah.
and it will pick up again. But right now, fight for yourself. Fight for that. Say you deserve to still be in business at the end of this.
Yeah.
And the bank and the government have to help us to stay in business, not just the big guys, but us too.
Yeah. Thank you. That's well said. I think if we don't do that, a lot of these services that we've taken for granted, and all these, whether it's restaurants or small business owners of doing whatever, I think if we don't step up a little bit as consumers and start saying we want to support local and support in our communities. And you know, some of them aren't going to survive, and that's just a reality. So I
tell your friends.
Tell your friends, you know,
Tell
more than ever, if you've got friends that are small business owners that are struggling, oh my gosh, please do what you can to support their business, and, you know, get on there and write reviews. Even if you're just a friend and you like somebody, like, write a review about how this person is and how you know them to be, because you know, that's a big thing for our,
you don't have to be dishonest. You can say that I'm a friend of this person, and I think they're a cool person. This is how I've watched them grow. Definitely. You know, if you can eat at a restaurant right now, if you can pick it up from the restaurant, do that, because they do pay a hefty price for those delivery services. That's a big one. And tell other people as well about your local favorite restaurants. Yeah,
I agree. Well, we've got a good buddy. So Kerry and I are part of a networking group, and we got a good buddy that's a restaurant owner. So we'll plug him, because Matador Pizza. Sorry for I totally I'm like, what? Jason? What's Jason? Matador Pizza. So we'll plug him, because he's part of our networking group, and he's a great friend to us. So he's told us some of the woes about the restaurant industry, and, you know, whatever restaurant you choose to support, you know, make it count. So
that's who's hit the hardest right now.
Sure. All right, Kerry, thank you so much for being with me today. That was fun.
It was great. Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed it.
Easy. Again, Kerry with Nurture My Home. Download the app, get that going, test it out, see how she can help you maintain your home for the life of your home. It's a big investment that you made, so certainly take care of it as best you can. And of course, I'm Velvet with Little Red Door, so stay tuned. We've got some other interviews coming up this week. Tomorrow we have Adam Mansbridge, my mortgage broker, who had a mortgage crisis last week when we were supposed to meet. So I said, hey, go take care of your people. The people are more important than you know, so trying to plug it. If we can actually be in front of people, that's what makes small businesses so great. So we'll talk to him tomorrow. So stay tuned. That's at 2:00 tomorrow. So if you're around, please have a watch of that or watch the recording. So again, Kerry, thanks so much. It was wonderful seeing your face, and, you know, it almost feels like we can give a virtual hug out there. There you go, buddy. Thanks everyone for watching this. Bye.